And we're back and continuing our conversation. I got to ask, because I think it's a great idea, and obviously you got people who are excited about it. But how do you get the community involved? I mean, how do you activate a community to say, yeah, let's do this?
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways for people to get involved if they're interested. We try to kind of have a lot of different avenues so we can meet people where they are for their involvement. So even something as just following us online, sharing an Instagram post, or subscribing to our monthly emailed newsletter, things like that, just spreading awareness about our mission is really helpful. And then another big need that we have is volunteers. So we do try to get volunteers at a variety of ways for people to get involved. So we do spend a lot of time actually going out into the community, running tables at community events and talking to people. And a goal of that is to get feedback from community members about unmet needs that they've seen in their community and how we could help meet those needs. So an example of how we do this is through our sustainable gardening team. So there's several volunteers in RUMAH that identified needs in the community to learn more about edible and at-home gardening as well as native plant species. So they started a free seed library at the hub. So if you come down to RUMAH, you can get free seeds for your garden. They also recently did a raised bed outside of our space, so they'll plant native plant species there for the spring. And then they also will be hosting educational and resource-based events that are free to the public about how to start a garden and how to get involved. So that's just one example. There's so many different areas of projects that are happening under the RUMAH umbrella, so that there's a lot of ways for people to get involved based on their interest and skill set that they want to contribute to their community. Of course, a huge way to get involved if you can, maybe you're short on time, but you have the funds, is becoming a monthly sustainer. Right now, we've been able to accomplish all that we've been able to do because of the support that we get from the community. So right now, our current goal is to reach 100% coverage for all of our rent and monthly expenses through monthly sustainers. In that way, we can build a strong financial foundation so that we can look towards the future and try to reach our long-term goals of eventually purchasing space for community use in the community, by the community.
What's it been like for you, Cailin? I mean, as being involved in this now, although it's only been a year or so, but I mean, I'll ask the question to both of you. I mean, what do you get from it? I mean, and I don't mean that in a selfish manner. I just mean, what do you take away from all of this?
It is really fulfilling to have kind of seen this goal and mission from the start and trying to explain it to people and have really support behind it and to make it happen, and to interact with people every week who maybe come into the space for the first time and walk in and are like, oh, this is so cozy and I feel like safe and welcome, or just like seeing the resources that we have and being like, oh, this is awesome that this exists. Just getting a lot of fulfillment from seeing people's reaction and the good feedback that we've gotten from the community was that this is something that we've needed for a long time, and people appreciating that it's happening.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're watching right now and you say, I have this great idea, or if only I had a space, you now know where you can go. In fact, why don't we go to RUMAH and check it out? We'll be right back.
Being a collective that doesn't have like a physical space, we have a lot of items that we need to store. You know, it's hard storing it in all the volunteers' homes, but RUMAH was very kind to let us use part of their building to put our dry goods and non-perishable foods that we use for our grocery delivery. We often use the space to pack up orders in a corner so our drivers can come and pick them up and deliver them.
Food Not Bombs is vegan. That's the basis of Food Not Bombs, nonviolence, the pro-peace. So we have a certain amount of food that we provide for our families, depending on the size. We always provide canned goods, 2 types of beans, 2 types of vegetables, at least 2 cups of rice, oatmeal to cook, pasta, sauces, snacks, things like that. Then we have produce that also gets purchased. And it's usually a bag of onions, a bag of potatoes, 1 big leafy green, and then 2 other additional vegetables, as well as 2 types of fruit.
And we try to get seasonal things or, you know, things that are on sale, so we have some variety.
You know, some of the stories I've heard, like a mom saying, oh, my daughter was just so happy to come home and see that there were snacks in the house. Thank you so much. Sometimes we're just a stopgap in between somebody going 3 days without food.
We don't have a space because we want to use the money to,
Feed families.
yeah, go straight into the community. So RUMAH, first of all, is like a great space, is a safe space for people in the community and other organizations. They've been very gracious to lend us some of their space that people can come and store the goods, as well as just allowing us a space to come and like see other people. You get more of a feel of community when you come and work together. Anyone can fill the form, no questions. We just ask that people understand that we only provide vegan things. Sometimes people will come and say like, hey, special requests, ham and milk, and we'll be like, hey, is it okay if we bring vegan milk and, you know, meat substitute or something? If we had more drivers, we could possibly do more, but yeah, we'll do like 5-6 families a week. Everything Food Not Bombs does is no questions asked. The only limiting factor is, you know, like how much labor our volunteers can take on and how much money we have to spend.
We're looking for volunteers. You don't need any experience to volunteer.
We do have a lot of like virtual roles, just like dispatching, deliveries, coordinating. We do need drivers, which is basically like, it's a set day a week. You can come pick it up at RUMAH anytime and then just take it to your designated address pretty much.
I think you'll find that a lot of activists and community members, especially in this mutual aid space, they are involved in other things. So there's an overlap. So when people are in here making a banner for, you know, an upcoming event, they might see somebody coming with groceries and packing them. Oh, you know, and talk about that. What is that? So I feel like it's a great place for all of that collective energy, all of the collective minds.
Thank you for watching. We hope you've enjoyed today's show. If you have any questions or you'd like to know more, visit our website at RaleighCW.com and myrdctv.com. I'm Bill LeMay. Thank you for watching Community Matters, and we'll see you next week.